Hi, and welcome to Cooks and Cars. I'm Rob D'Amico. The show is presented by the Big Green Egg, the ultimate cooking experience. Log on to biggreenegg.com to find an authorized dealer near you. We'll be back in 30 seconds with Ron Dimpflmaier. Captain Ron's going to be joining us here next, right after we hear from our sponsor. There's a place where fire and flavor are celebrated, where grilling traditions and new techniques are perfected. Here in Big Green Egg Country, you can grill it, roast it, smoke it, or bake it. It's the most versatile grill you'll ever own. Simple to light, easy to use, comes with a free lifetime warranty. Have it delivered to your door by a certified dealer in your community and start enjoying the ultimate cooking experience. Shop online for home delivery at biggreenegg.com. That's biggreenegg.com. And I hope you got one of these for the holidays, because what a special gift that thing made. There's no doubt about that. Cooking on mine, probably right now in the wintertime, I'm cooking on it about twice a week because it gets a little cold out there. But listen, the egg can cook outside no matter what. And it can be snow, sleet, rain. It doesn't matter. It can do it all. There's no doubt about that. So when we talk about losing power and being outside, it can still cook. You don't have to wrap it in a blanket like some of those other pellet grills. You have to keep it warm, and it takes forever to heat up because the temperature outside affects what's inside. No, does not happen with the Big Green Egg, especially with those ceramic eggs that we have that you can obviously check out at biggreenegg.com. All right, my next guest, we're going to bring on Ron Dimpflmaier. He's going to be talking about some of the stuff he did during the holiday as like a prime rib, but what to do after the fact, because he made a delicious prime rib. There's no doubt about that. But he also did some chestnuts and made a roast beef sandwich like the guys over at Arby's did. But wait until you see this one. Ron, welcome to the show, man. Thanks for coming on. Happy holidays. Happy New Year to you.
Hey, Rob, same to you. Thanks for having me, man. I really appreciate it. Great to be here.
Yeah, no doubt. So, hey, real quick, the big gift, what did you get this year? New Corvette?
Yeah, that would be nice. No.
Yeah.
No, we kind of kept it real small this year. We there was nothing too major to speak of. We're all going to a couple of concerts as gifts to each other. So do some activities instead of a tie that I'll sit in my drawer for the next 15 years and never get used, you know?
That's right. You see, I'm wearing a sweatshirt. I'm big corporate.
There you go.
This is how I roll, man. This is how I roll.
Go.
Hey,
That
real
works.
quick, you're down in Florida. Weather's still warm. I know we had some warm days here in Atlanta. I think Christmas we were actually at my brother's house. We were swimming in his pool in Atlanta here. And today it's like, we woke up, it was 29 degrees out. But you down in Florida, not so much. You guys are pretty warm down there still.
It's not so bad. I saw your commercial there, and I heard you talking. And we cook outside year round here with our egg. It got almost down to 65 the other day. So
freezing.
Really, we're really battling the elements with that one.
Yeah, you get your snowshoes out for that?
Right. Yeah. I put my parka on. I was all bundled up. New York appreciation time.
Yeah, we joke here in Atlanta. Whenever we get a sprinkle, a dusting, we all, I can't get out of the driveway. It's so slippery. I can't hit the roads.
Oh, too funny.
But all good. Hey, all right. So the big prime rib, we had our last show. We were talking to Chris Sussman, had him on talking about prime rib, and I think that was the big thing this year. Is a lot of people went out there and cooked prime rib for the Christmas dinner, which is great because traditionally you get turkey and ham, but I think everybody kind of went down that route of the prime rib, and even you cooked a crown roast as well. So talk about the different things you did this holiday season.
Yeah, we did a couple different things. I did a couple prime ribs, and we did a pork crown roast, which was just absolutely unbelievable. I made a beer gravy with it right on the edge. Just fantastic stuff. The prime rib, there's the crown roast there. Just unbelievable, and
you even put
so
the little
simple.
fancy hats on there.
Oh, you got it. You got to. Yeah. You got to take a picture. Absolutely. Yeah. My family looked at me and went, "Really? Where do you think you are here?" I said, "Yeah, that's serious stuff,
Yeah, that's pretty good. So you also did a prime rib. So real quick, how did you do the crown roast? So you obviously get it. Did you French the bones like that, or did it come like that? What'd you all have to do to prepare it?
I ordered it French and it didn't come very well French, so I did that. I cleaned it up
Cleaned it
and
up.
used a knife. I tried that string trick. Yeah, that did not work for me. So I was there scraping, ruining my good knife. And that's that's what I did with that. It came pre-tied. I actually wound up having to untie it and trimming it a little more and then retying it myself. But yeah, it was great. I mean, I just made a simple seasoning of salt, pepper, garlic powder, paprika, and sprinkled that on there. Cooked it on there, and I put it on a rack in a pan and poured a beer underneath it. And about halfway through, poured another beer over it. And when it was all done, made a gravy out of that. And, oh man!
I thought you were
Man.
going to say I poured one in there and I drank the other one.
Yeah. It was supposed to be a 4-beer gravy. It wound up being a 2-beer gravy.
Yeah, I wonder why. All right, so you do that. Hey, real quick, you also before you finish that thought, I don't want to get off subject, but your knife, do you happen to have it there near you? The big one you have, which I think is really cool. I think this is a new trend where they got that really tall, big knife, and you cut with it, and it really, because when you're a chef and you cut, you obviously line up your fingers so it cuts against that. But this gives you a much bigger blade to put your fingers up against, which I absolutely love.
Yeah. Are you talking about that one that kind of looks sort of like a cleaver? Is that the one you're talking about?
Yeah, the one you can run out in the streets with and
Scare the neighbors? Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, it's actually a really cool knife. And, I got it and I wasn't sure if it was going to really be worth, I kind of got it for the Instagram world,
Yeah.
But actually, the thing really works well. I chop vegetables with it. I mean, I can do it. It really worked well. I was pretty impressed with it. So, yeah.
That's awesome. All right, continue on with the crown roast. So you put that on there. You got the beer thing going. How long you cook it for? What's your setup on your egg? That kind of thing.
So I cooked it indirect. I had the convector in there on the expander system, and so I was using a raised grid. I had it, like I said, in a pan on a rack, and did it indirect at, I think I did at 350 degrees till it hit 145 internal. When it hit about 110, I took that beer and poured it over there. And so instead of spritzing it, I just poured the beer over it. Whether that made a difference or not, I'm not sure. But I'll tell you what, it was outstanding. And really, what a crown roast really is just a line of pork chops is really kind of what it is,
Yeah.
But let me tell you, it was so moist and so flavorful. It was really good. I made a pork loin actually for New Year's Day. And I did it the same way. It just wasn't the same. It didn't come out the same. That crown roast was really something special. That was really nice.
Yeah, because a lot of people when they do pork chops, they overcook them. It's just part of the cooking experience with pork chops. Even the store bought ones where you get thin. I always try to buy with a bone in, and cook them where there's still a little pink in there. And I know this sounds bad, and a lot of people go, "Oh no, you can't do that." Yeah. But I'm telling you, 145, done. Don't go anything over that.
Absolutely. And actually, the crown roast, I actually took it off at like 139 or 138 or 139, because then I took it and while I was making the gravy, I just kind of did it and loosely tinted it with foil, so it continued to cook, and it actually brought it up to about 148, only in
Nice.
about 10-15 minutes. So yeah, but it was exactly what you said. It had just a slight little pinkness to the inside, and it was just perfect. I'm still one of those, like, I look at it, if it's too pink, I'm like, I don't know about that,
No, I'm good, man.
No, man, it was so good and so moist. Like you said, growing up, we had shoe leather pork chops off the grill. That's what I grew up with, And man, what a difference! I brought some of that crown roast to my dad. The best pork chops I've ever had. I said, yeah, that's because I used a thermometer.
Yeah. And I think part of that is the egg as well. The egg really, we joke about the charcoal and the egg and the smoke and the touch of flavors you can bring to it. The egg and the charcoal part of it is really another ingredient and I'm not a huge smoker. Like, I don't like a lot of smoke on my food, but it's just enough and it's just a kiss. And oh man, it makes it so fantastic.
Absolutely. You can't beat it. And, I didn't add any smoking woods to this or anything like that. I just used the lump charcoal. And like you said, the way that it works, like with the way the egg works, almost as a convection, really just cooks it so beautifully, and it cooked it evenly. I was a little bit concerned because the crown roast, in the center there, it's hollowed out. So, there's no real heat coming up through there like that. But I think because of the way that the egg is designed, it brought the heat around and then back down into it. It cooked it so evenly. I was truly amazed, really. And turned out,
all right, now my favorite part. You and I go back as kids, not as friends, but
Yeah.
going to our childhood memories of going to an Arby's and
Mm.
walking in at Arby's. And my favorite thing at an Arby's is the beef and cheddar. So I'm at Captain Ron at 302, on Instagram, checking it out. And then I see this roast beef sandwich with the cheese being melted on top. And the sandwich comes out looking like this. And I about died because you actually made that yourself, man. That looks spot on, spectacular. And I would dig into that right now.
Oh man, I inhaled it. I won't lie, I inhaled it. I made that. I made the camera. I made the video. I had two different sandwiches. I took that and we got done. I put the other one down. I just went to town on that thing. What I liked about it is that it was actually pink roast beef instead of Arby's brown roast beef like substance. I'm not sure,
Yeah.
but I'm like you though. I have a hard time driving past an Arby's without stopping in. So, but we had a homemade horseradish sauce, but I did cheat. And I got some Arby's packets of Arby's sauce. You gotta have it.
The Arby's sauce. Yeah, I'm not a big fan. So when I get that sandwich, I won't get the red ranch that's on the sandwich. I will wait and just do the horsey sauce with that. But I'm not a big red ranch guy. I will now. Arby's sauce is a little different because it's not the red ranch. The red ranch, I'm just not a huge fan of. But what you got right there, the Arby's sauce and the cheese and the roast beef and even the onion bun with you got the poppy seeds on there, which is an added feature on your sandwich.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I love it, man. It's good stuff. But so what'd you do? You had the prime rib. You cooked it over the holiday, and how'd you cook that?
Yeah. So I had some left over. Actually, that one I did a combination. I did a sous vide and then finished it off on the egg. So I did a sous vide for like half hours at 127 degrees.
Real quick, sous vide. What does that mean for some people that may not know?
So sous vide, what it is it's a different way of cooking. It's not boiling. You're cooking it in water in a way. But what I did is I take my meat, I seasoned it, and put it in a plastic bag, and then vacuum sealed it. Sous vide is called a circulator. What that does is it keeps the temperature of the water at a certain degrees, and it keeps the water circulating. So when you put that bag in there, it's surrounding the roast and everything with that hot water. The nice part about it is that you can't overcook it. So like you were shooting for 127 degree internal temperature. You can cook it for 20 hours and it will never go past that pink 127 degrees mark. What it does is the longer you cook it, it tends to make it more tender. You can even actually overdo it where it becomes almost too tender and becomes like a little mushy. So you kind of have to be careful about that. So I did that in the sous vide. Then once I finished that, I took it out and take it out of the bag and kind of pat it dry a little bit. A lot of people will add a lot of different herbs or onions or seasonings. I just wanted the flavor, so I just did salt, pepper, garlic on this thing. And when I took it out, it's kind of weird looking because it's a little bit gray looking. It's a little bit gross. But I cranked up.
Yeah, I will say that if you've ever used a sous vide and you pull it out for the first time and you're looking at it, you're like, did I cook this right? Is this normal? It is normal. It's because it cooks basically the inside, and usually what we're used to on the outside is that nice crust, grill marks. It has none of that yet because it hasn't been introduced to that. That's where the egg comes in.
The key word is yet. Exactly.
That's right.
Exactly. Yeah. So what I did is I went direct, meaning I didn't have the convector in there. And got the thing going up to about 650, 700 degrees, and I just threw it on the grate for about maybe a minute to a minute and a half per side. All you're doing is searing it. You don't want to continue to cook it. I want that nice pink from edge to edge. And that's the one nice thing about the sous vide is that it really does give it that super edge to edge. I can get that on the egg, but it's still going to have a little rim around the outside. Maybe that's a little more done. This was just, pink from one side to the other. You can see there from that picture the beautiful bar that I put on there, and that's literally a minute per side. And oh my goodness, my family said this might be the best one you've ever made.
Yeah, no kidding. And even with and I'm always one of those guys when you look at a prime rib, you got the cap of ribeye out there, and oh my gosh, that's the best part of that piece of steak right there.
No doubt about it.
All right, so where can fans follow you that are watching the program and want to get involved? Because you're part of our BGE Team Green, and we use that as a hashtag on all of our social media channels. So check that out. We have a whole group, cast of characters, if you will, cooking out there and doing their experiences on the egg and kind of tips and tricks, and you kind of get the back stage stuff, if you will, where you get some of those, like if you're working with a wok, or like what you do a lot is pizza and pizza stones, which is big because a lot of people, they're scared to do those big things like the pizzas, a brisket, the wok. It's just one of those things that people get a little nervous. Oh, I'll grill some chicken. I'll do some wings. But this stuff you can really learn by watching these guys.
No doubt. And, a lot of that stuff, it is intimidating, oh, wok, I don't know how to control the temperature. Just, I always tell everybody, feel free to reach out. If you want to find me on Instagram, my handle's there on the thing. It's Captain Ron 302. It's written crazy, but CPTNRON 302. And on Instagram, that's Instagram. On Facebook, you can find the same thing, or else just find my personal page at Ron Dimpflmaier. I love when people reach out and ask how to use the wok, how to do a brisket. My family jokes around. They say, "We know we're losing you on holiday mornings." I said, "What do you mean?" They said, "Because you spend half the morning answering questions from people." You know what an honor that is for me. That they're like, "Come on, it's so frustrating." I said, "To me, he asked to hey, I'm getting ready to cook my Christmas turkey. What do I do here?" And I'm like, "Ah, man, this person's trusted me with their family's holiday meal. That's pretty cool." So I'm always happy to answer questions and help out.
I get that a lot as well, and it is funny to the guys that get so proud and what they're doing, and then they hear later on, oh, the family loved it. No, our first turkey on the egg, and what a hit. And we get those stories all the time, and it's great. So we wish that people watching can do the same. And if you're in the family, great. If you're not, that's okay. This show is Cooks and Cars. We talk about everything, but we obviously cook on eggs when we're talking about barbecue. But doesn't mean you have to. It's just a show you can enjoy, and you can reach out to some of these guys on BG Team Green and learn a lot more. Ron, definitely. Thank you very much. Unfortunately, you did not get that Corvette this year. Maybe next year, 2022.
Well, part is, Rob. So my dad, he's 78, and he needed a new car last year. And he said, "No, I'm going to get a new car." So he bought himself an '08 Corvette. So I've been having the pleasure of enjoying a Corvette for a while, but he's having a hard time getting it out of it. So if anybody's looking for an '08 C6 Corvette, just hit me up. Let me know. He's not going to sell it right now.
He's going to sell it. So what is he thinking about getting after that? Is he still kind of want to get something with a little power in there?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He wants to go to like a Cadillac. What's the XTS? I think it is.
Yeah.
Or a CT5, something like that. So he wants something with a little gumption too. He went from the big V8 Cadillac. Now he's looking at a 4-cylinder turbo Cadillac.
The gas is hurting him a little bit. He's like, I'm retired. I need to save a little money. I'll downsize from the V8 to the
eating him alive.
Oh yeah, there's no doubt. All right, Ron. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Again, where can we find you online?
Instagram, Captain Ron 302, and Facebook is the same thing, Captain Ron 302, or my personal name, Ron Dimpflmaier. And like I said, I'm always happy to reach out and answer questions, help out. I have a Facebook group, if anybody would like to join it. It's called Big Green Eggers of South Florida. You don't have to be from South Florida. It just happens to be where I live. And it's a great, because I really keep the community very family friendly. And we don't allow people to give each other a hard time. We don't allow keyboard warriors. We won't have it, So it's great for the person that just got their egg for the first time, or the experienced egger that's got 25 years of egging under their belt. So we just like to help out.
And I'm speaking for the Big Green Egg, love everything you do down there. Love that you get involved with the community as well, and you're doing those egg fests down there, which is really cool, because not only in Florida, you're going all over the country with some of these, and even ours, Oktoberfest.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm not sure. I'm actually really praying that this COVID thing clears up. We can have Oktoberfest this year, because it's been a while. That last one was a blast. I'm sure.
Yeah, so. I can't wait to get back at it. And so far, talks look good for 2022, which is really good. Yeah, I know we're a little further out, but right now it looks like we are on course to make that happen, which is great. Ron, thank you very much. We appreciate you stopping by Cooks and Cars. And don't forget, you can find us online, cooksandcars.com. We got great blogs, recipes, how-to tips, all that great stuff up there. Plus, you can get the blog right now with the 75th anniversary of Ferrari and the 4-year anniversary for the Lamborghini Urus, which is a really cool SUV. You got to check that out. Ron, you'd love that thing. Because I think we could stick an egg in the back.
I'm in.
Yeah,
Count me in.
Exactly. So Lamborghini, if you're watching, maybe you can hook some of us guys up here. We can work something out. All right, Ron. Again, thank you. Hey, appreciate you coming on. And until next time, folks, we'll see you then. Thanks for watching.
Great. Thanks for having me, Rob.